Okay, got a little bit done on this thing. I have the frame extensions tacked in where I want them. The you know the shackle or whatever you want, the slides tacked in. I'll have like I'll have a bar going across here, and that's probably where my I'll have a tow hitch back there, and then probably the seat's gonna go as low as it can with the fenders involved. Obviously, I'm gonna try to keep it look stock-ish. The steering I started to modify, so you kind of see I have that thing just as like a lock collar. I need to get some real lock collars for it, but that's a 1-inch shaft. I drilled the holes out in the steering box and the gear to let that 1-inch shaft go through. I'll weld it through the gear, and then there's a bearing. Can you see it? Yeah, there's a bearing right there, and then I'll most likely have the pitman arm welded down here. If I can fit it up in here, I will, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. It's going to probably be down here, and then go to something on the bottom, because I don't like the way these steering systems are made. This is basically what kills this design, is the fact that it's got to be up here and there's a spline here. There's a lot of play there, and then also it puts a lot of torque on the whole axle. That won't matter with what I plan on doing, but this isn't going to be good for suspension travel anyway, because I'm going to have there's going to be suspension here. Probably still planning on using this guy. This ball joint will be, mounted somewhere in the center underneath there. It'll be like a monolink and then I'll have a track bar going sideways in the front. I'll probably kick the front axle forward more too, obviously, when I'm building it, just gain a little bit of wheelbase. This is a really good running opposed twin. Probably gonna sell it because I have a V-twin, an Intech V-twin. It's just a way lighter, better motor in general. I'm sure if I was good to this motor, it would outlast the Intech. But you start revving these things high, they don't like it. There's a number of reasons for that, and then you try to start getting more power out of them. There's not a lot you can do. So you can get a cam and this and that carb, but I'm a lot more comfortable throwing a Mikuni carb on an Intech. I've done it before with good results. So that's all I got right now. I'm working on the skid plate for the transaxle, and then obviously because I have those rails mounted there, my seat mount and fender mounts aren't going to exactly work anymore, but I don't really want them that high anymore, because this would put me way up in the air. But with this here, you can see how much I extended the rear, probably about 4 inches. The last video I made, I had the springs in this hole here, which put the axle back about 8 inches, and I moved it up to here. I'll probably have, something that goes to catch the outside of this bolt. And then, a cross member. But yeah, these steering boxes, this particular type of steering box can be really good if you, I'm going to have a bushing or a bearing up there too to support the top part of the shaft, obviously. And then I can weld a 1-inch lock collar there and put a 7/8 bushing inside of it, and that'll support the bottom part of the steering shaft. Even though there's a bearing in here, it's actually a roller bearing, needle bearing inside of this gear, which I've never seen before. And then obviously up here I'll have another situation like that. And then, you know, this will probably get welded to the frame when I'm all done. Reinforced for sure. It'll definitely get reinforced. It's pretty sturdy compared to a lot of mowers I've seen. But I do have to modify it to get that Ford hood to go on there the way I want it to. So, yeah, gas tank's gonna go where it went before. And yeah, it's gonna be pretty sweet. Gonna be pretty sweet. The springiness, the leaf springs are really good. And with all that friction involved, with the slides, you really don't even need shocks. The only reason I'm gonna have shocks is to limit the travel. It'll even, like the way this is designed, it even locks in. Like if you lift up the frame, the spring's not gonna let go. There's a hook on the end of the spring there. So I'm pretty happy with how it's coming out. Again, this isn't a locked. This is a locked 820. I'm working on. Oh, the upside down now. I don't even know. There we go. I'm working on a skid plate for it right now. That'll probably be the next thing I show, and then we're gonna go from here up, over, and then down to this one, and then from these two we'll go forward to catch the front mounts, and then it'll come back down to catch the skid plate, and the skid plate's gonna bolt there too. So it's gonna be all one cased in unit. So it's gonna be pretty cool, I think. And then we'll have some idlers right at the pivot point of the leaf springs, the front pivot point of the leaf springs, for the belt to bend there. And hopefully that's all I'm gonna need, but I may need some guides, like another set of idlers or something right in front of the pulley on the transaxle. We'll see how that goes, see how fast I go through belts and stuff. A couple other ideas. I have a right angle gearbox that I can put right here, send a drive shaft forward to a snowmobile motor if all else fails, or some kind of side shaft motor, of course, if I did it that way. But I would like to keep that V-twin in it and just keep it pulley drive, just to show that it can be done.